The rebirth of Malbec. (1152), the Middle Ages. After the French king annulled their marriage because she hadn't provided him with a male heir, Eleanor of Aquitaine went on to marry the English king Henry II and to form the Court of Love. They drank Malbec morning, day, and night. At that time, wine was safer than water. Rulers from all over the world came to Eleanor's court to sample her famous wine. It was called the black wine because of its dark color and rich flavor. 1855, the classification of the Bordeaux wines in Paris. The best French wines were classified according to their prestige, from first to fifth growth. Latour, Lafite, Margaux, Haut-Brion. 40 to 60% of these wines were made of Malbec. The other main variety was Cabernet Sauvignon. 1860s, the evil louse. Phylloxera, a root-eating aphid born in the Americas, goes to Europe and decimates Bordeaux. The Europeans are able to save their vines by grafting them onto American rootstocks. Both Cabernet Sauvignon and Malbec are late-ripening varieties. Malbec is a delicate grape, so delicate that a change of weather during the flowering season can reduce the yields in half. The Bordeaux French could have serious problems during harvest if early rains made their vineyards rot. Lower yields were also the winemaker's enemy. The French made their decision. They would replace most of their Malbec with Merlot. 1852, Mendoza, Argentina. Argentina's beloved President Sarmiento hired French agronomist Michel Puget to bring fine wine to Mendoza. La tierra del sol y del vino, the land of sun and wine. In Mendoza, the skies were always sunny and late ripening was not a problem like in France. Malbec had found a new home. 19th and 20th century. European immigrants, primarily from Italy and Spain, came to Argentina and more than doubled our country's population. They opened cafes and trattorias and drank wine with lunch and dinner, just like in their homelands of Europe. 1898, Laura Catena. A young Italian from Le Marche came to Argentina with a dream, to have a vineyard of his own and raise a family. He planted his first Malbec vineyard in 1902 on the shores of the Tunujan River in Mendoza. 1980. Nicola's grandson, Nicolás Catena, had a dream to make an Argentine wine that would compete with the best of the world. He was inspired by the 1976 Judgment of Paris, where Californian wines had stood their ground against some of the most famous French wines of Bordeaux and Burgundy. 1990, the Malbec Revolution. Nicolás Catena Zapata asked his daughter Laura Catena, that's me, to help him bring back Malbec to its previous glory. 1995. I knew that to make a great Malbec, we needed to start with the best raw ingredients. Inspired by my medical training, I founded the Catena Institute of Wine. The institute researched and cataloged the finest selection of Argentine Malbec, which we called the Catena cuttings. 135 ancient Malbec plants were selected for their small berries, small bunches, deep flavors, and potential to make elegant wines. Frenchman from Bordeaux. Nicolas, the Mendoza red wines from Argentina's traditional wine regions taste like they come from a warm climate. Nicolás Catena Zapata. I need to find the cool climate limit of vine cultivation in Mendoza. Vines have never been planted in Gualtallarí at 5,000 feet elevation. That is where I will plant my new vineyard. Nicolás's viticulturalist. You are crazy, Dr. Catena. Vines will never ripen there. And so, the Adriana vineyard is born in Gualtallarí in 1992. Why does high altitude matter? Vines ripen differently in the mountains than at sea level because of the cool and sunny climate. Why does cool climate matter? A wine's freshness and ability to develop and evolve over time comes from its natural acidity. Grapes grown in cooler areas have higher acidity, giving them more concentration and minerality. Why does high-altitude sunlight matter? At the Catena Institute of Wine, we studied the effects of sunlight and found that increased sunlight makes the grapes develop thicker, more protective skins with more tannins. These higher tannins give high-altitude Malbec its concentration and ability to age. Why is Malbec famous for its smooth flavor? Malbec has a similar amount of tannins to Cabernet Sauvignon, but the Malbec tannins are naturally softer. High-altitude Malbec, high tannin content, Malbec tannins that are naturally soft. That is why high-altitude Malbec wines are concentrated and velvety at the same time. Not all high-altitude wines are the same. The parcels of Adriana. At Catena Zapata, we have divided the Adriana vineyard into hundreds of parcels according to their soils. Today, minerally Chardonnays and ultra-elegant Malbecs are made from grapes grown in Adriana. Each parcel of this vineyard has a different glorious flavor, and we love them all.